What's up, podcast listeners? I'm Caleb Law, and welcome to Rainbow Hollywood. And let's get on with this episode that I'm gonna be firing it away right now. Let's get into it. Paramount's Kids and Family Television Network, Nickelodeon, is finally making a sequel to 2001's Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius movie after 20 years of development that never make it. However, the sequel will most likely be considered to the reboot sequel for the first movie. When does that happen? Well, it occurs when a screenwriter named Adam Pava has listed on his LinkedIn that he is screenwriting a sequel currently in development at Paramount Animation and Nickelodeon Movies since December 2023. For those who don't know about the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius sequel, the sequel was reported in development in February 2002 for a summer 2004 release. Of course, the producer, Albie Hedged, reported to the Los Angeles Times that the sequel would be on the same budget as the first, but with a new batch of inventions and adventures in Jimmy's town of Retroville. Retroville. On June 3rd, on, on June 20th, 2002, the Hollywood Reporter reported that writer Kate Bautelier has signed a writing deal with Nickelodeon Movies and Paramount Pictures to write a sequel to the film, but the sequel was never materialized. The film was canceled because of the writers not agreeing on a story, and Alcorn later stated with an interview that once the TV series came out, there wasn't a lot of incentive to make a movie where fans could simply watch Jimmy Neutron for free at home. However, 14 years in 2016, director John A. Davis stated that he has a story for a Jimmy Neutron reboot feature that he would like to make, but he is waiting for the right situation to make it. But later in 2020, Rob Paulson stated that people loved Carl and said that it wasn't a bad thing at all for reboot Jimmy to reboot Jimmy Neutron. Now in February 2025, the sequel has finally been in development as a reboot sequel by Paramount Animation. But Adam Pava just posted on LinkedIn that it could be releasing very soon. I gotta tell you this. It's complicated, and I sure hope Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius reboot sequel will be out in theaters really soon. Super Smash Bros. Creator Masahiro Sakurai has reposted the Nintendo Switch 2 direct date and time announcement with a single sound of excitement, and fans are freaking out about it, teasing a new entry in a beloved brawler series. As reported by Automaton, Sakurai shared the Japanese version of Nintendo's announcement that it will fully unveil the Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd. He said ooh in the post, and while this could just be his own excitement, fans are hoping it means a new Super Smash Bros. Game is coming to the next generation hardware. While the post doesn't mean too much by itself, there has been a stream of small hints and teases that could signify Sakurai is gearing up for another Super Smash Bros. Game reveal. The famed developer began his own YouTube channel in 2022 after promising he wasn't done making games, and his final video revealed he'd been working on a new game that could be revealed sooner or later. Nothing has been announced regarding a new Super Smash Bros. Game. However, and Sakurai said previously, he doesn't know how the franchise can get any bigger or better than a Switch entry, which even includes characters from the Beyond Nintendo like Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, Sora from Kingdom Hearts, Joker from Persona 5, Stephen Alex from Minecraft, and many more. But it seems likely there will be the new Super Smash Bros. Game for Switch 2, given the incredible sales success of Ultimate. And it's worth remembering Nintendo has released a new Super Smash Bros. Game for each of its consoles since the launch of the original Super Smash Bros. For N64 in 1999. The Mean Girl star Renee Rapp joins the ranks of the brand's famous faces Eva Longoria, Heidi Klum, Kendall Jenner, and Cara Delevingne. I can't pronounce it. Can't pronounce his last name. And don't forget Viola. Rapp says she would lay her life on the line for Viola Davis. um, Renee Rapp does things her way, even when joining the ranks on one of the largest and most celebrated beauty brands in the world. She's Rapp tells people of her shiny new title, L'Oreal Paris brand ambassador, saying we've been working on this deal for years. The actor and singer and writer describes breaking out onto the scene a few years ago as being shot out of the cannon. She had HBO series Sex Life of College Girls. Tina Fey cast her in the new Mean Girls. She had the new hit duo Not My Fault with Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion. And her debut album, Snow Angel, was the biggest selling debut album by a female artist in 2023. She's famously candid, like so candid. There have been public pleas for fans for her to never receive media training, which brings to this interview to L'Oreal Paris' legendary tagline, "Because you're worth it." That kind of swagger is on kind of swagger is pretty on brand for Rapp. 100%. She agrees and she practiced the line so many times. And she said laughing, when asked to when asked to say it, she says not yet. Um, Jokes aside, this is a huge moment for 25-year-old Generation Z girl. She she says that she can't believe they asked her. Rapp agrees with not only what the company stands for individually, authentic, can't pronounce that, empowering woman who they stand with. L'Oreal Paris is global, and when she thinks about the integrity of what she did, she really cared about trying to reach the most people. A global outlook is exclusive, and she liked being in a good company. The multi Grammy winner laughed off the experience in the video captured of the moment. The attendings filling up the stadium during the Super Bowl 59 last Sunday did not react kindly to seeing Taylor Swift on the Jumbotron. Some sports fans booed the multi Grammy winning artist when she appeared on the big screen during the game. While she was seated next to rapper Ice Spice and friend Ashley Avagnome, Swift visibly didn't realize what was happening until she heard the crowd's reaction. She can be seen in video captured of the moment, making a face and appearing in the mouth of the words, wait, what is going on? Oh, yeah. The official NFL social media accounts shared videos of Swift's Jumbotron appearance, but they removed the audio. None Other non-official video posted online by bystanders revealed the full moment. Fortunately for her, she seemed to laugh off the situation. Hmm. Yeah, she was booed by those crowds during Super Bowl 59 last Sunday. And kind of reminds me before that when Canadians did at the basketball game at Scotia Bank in Toronto, if I were you. But they booed at the US national anthem. It was kind of before Taylor Swift got booed before. Anthony Anderson and Anthony Starr also starred in Patricia Riggan's action feature that began streaming this spring on Prime Video. Viola Davis played a commander in chief who will do what it takes to save the day in a trailer for Amazon MGM Studios' action movie G20. Director Patricia Riggan's features begin streaming on Prime Video on April 10th. Rounding out the cast are Anthony Anderson, Marcy Martin, Raymond Rodriguez, Anthony Starr, Douglas Hodge, Elizabeth Marvel, Sabrina Impact. I can't remember her last name. I can't pronounce that. And Clark Gregg. G20 centers on President Taylor Sutton Davis, who must fight for the well-being of her family and other world leaders when terrorists take control of the G20 summit in Cape Town, South Africa. My husband, oh yeah, Davis says that her husband and kids are missing and they have to find them. At one point, the lead terrorist declares to the governments watching that she's been taking the G20 by force when they launched Project Deep Fate. At least they will reset the world's the world's financial market. Riggan helmed the film from the script by Caitlin Parish, Erica Weiss, Logan Miller, and Noah Miller. Davis, Andrea Lazar, and Julius Tannen serve as producers. She said that this is Viola Davis as you've never seen her, heroically kicking tons of ass in a global thrill ride, Riggan says. In the previously previously released statement, with G20, he wanted to make the kind of classic edge of your seat action film that he'd always been a fan of, but one of the draws, one that draws on the high skates of their modern and technologically advanced world we live in. Davis's recently credits included the Hunger Games prequel, Air, with the voice roles of Kung Fu Panda 4 and Creature Commandos. The film follows Kiefer Sutherland as Bradley Mack, a Hollywood action star with a bloated ego and his career in a free fall when he meets a no-nonsense choreographer Jill, played by Rebel Wilson, in a snow-dusted English village. Kiefer Sutherland and Rebel Wilson will star in a new Christmas comedy from Sky and Future Artists Entertainment, Tinseltown. Now in production on location across the north of England, the movie follows Bradley Mack, a Hollywood star with a bloated ego, who is blindsided when his iconic action franchise is abruptly canceled. With his career in free fall, and worried his Hollywood days are behind him, he heads to England hoping to rebuild his image as a serious actor on the West End. But his long-suffering agent has other plans, sending Bradley to instead to the small snow-dusted village to star in the town's eccentric production of Cinderella. As he fumbles through as he as he fumbles through rehearsals with colorful cast of oddball locals, Sutherland's character begins to discover a spark of the new beginnings in the form of no-nonsense choreographer Jill. He's thrilled to be working back in the UK with director Chris Fogan. The cast is fantastic and he can't wait to tell his story. The script, penned by Fraser Flintham, Adam Brown, Piers Ashworth, has additional material by Jake Brunger, and will be directed by Chris Fogan. Matt Williams and Pascal DeGrove at FAE will produce. Executive producers are Julia Stewart, Laura Grange, Piers Tempest, and Martin Owen. Mr. Smith is launching worldwide sales at the EFM. Stewart, director of original film at Sky, said that we are so proud of this uplifting and charming comedy, and can't wait for it to come to Sky Cinema this Christmas. Feels good, festive, and funny, and we hope we have something for everyone to enjoy. Grand Theft Auto 6 is still set for release in fall 2025, parent company Take-Two has insisted. Reporting its third quarter ending on December 31st, 2024 financial results, the Rockstar owner listed GTA 6 for fall 2025 on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. It means that for now at least, Grand Theft Auto 6 is still on track for its previously announced release window and has not been delayed. Speaking to IGN ahead of the release of its financial report, Take-Two GEO Strzelnik says that while there's always a risk of slippage, the company feels really good about it. And there's an always of a slippage and thanks as soon as you says words like absolutely jinx things. He responded to IGN when IGN asked how confident he was that Rockstar will hit fall 2025 for Grand Theft Auto 6, so they feel really good about it. When asked for an update on how development on GTA 6 is going, Zelnick kept his cards close for his chest. He thinks the game is eagerly anticipated both internally and externally. They know that Rockstar seeks performs he'd never claimed success before it occurs. And fond of saying arrogance is the enemy of continued success, so they were all running scared and looking over their shoulders, and they usually know that the competition is not asleep. Their whole organization their whole organization is super excited. The GTA 6 release date is one of the hottest topics in all of entertainment, with rival publishers waiting with bated breath for Rockstar to make its announcement. Earlier this week, EA CEO Andrew Wilson said he was willing to delay the new Battlefield out of the next fiscal year, depending on the release timing of its competitors' games. A thinly veiled nod to the behemoth that is Grand Theft Auto 6. Excuse me. While its release windows remains films, Grand Theft Auto 6 much wanted trailer 2 has yet to materialize. We're over now a year since trailer 1's release, a gap that has caused plenty of feverish speculation. Um, while you wait to find out, IGN has much more on GTA 6 to check out, including an ex-Rockstar development who says developer who says the studio probably won't be able to decide whatever GTA 6 is delayed until May 2025. Zelnick's Koi responds on whether GTA 6 is coming to PC, and the expert opinion on whether the PS5 Pro will run GTA 6 at 60 frames per second. Speaking generally about Rockstar, Take-Two said Grand Theft Auto 5 has now sold in an incredible 210 million units worldwide. GTA Online had a strong quarter led by the Agents of Sabotage update. Grand Theft Auto Plus memberships increased 10% year over year in a quarter. Red Dead Redemption 2, meanwhile, has sold in more than 70 million copies. Take-Two noticed it is currently seeing its highest level of concurrent players on stream. Take-Two has a busy 2025 with the just-released Civilization 7 from Firaxis, PGA Tour 2K25 in February, and WWE 2K25 in March, Mafia: The Old Country in the summer, GTA 6 in the fall, and Gearbox's Borderlands 4 year before year end. He said, Take-Two said, we are exceedingly optimistic about the commercial potential of our titles and believe that they will have a transformative effect on their business and their industry over the long term. And before adding it, remains highly confident it will achieve sequential increases in and and record and record levels of net bookings in fiscal 2026 and 2027. God, it's a big one. Before Kirby and the Forgotten Land swooped with an excellent 3D take on a classic Kirby formula, Kirby Planet Robobot for Nintendo 3DS was widely regarded as the best entry in the series. Now, according to reliable leaker Nate the Hate, the 2016 platformer may be getting a similar treatment to Luigi's Mansion 2 HD with an upcoming port on Switch. It seems like a fairly safe bet given that Nintendo will largely be shifting its focus over to Switch 2 from April onwards. Planet Robobot does sound like a pretty good fit for the Switch, and indeed a good way for fans to pass the time in the coming months. That said, we commend treating this as nothing more than a rumor for the time. Nate the Hate recently correctly predicted the date on when the Switch 2 would be officially revealed. Okay. He also claimed that Xbox's Halo the Master Chief Collection would be making its way to the Switch 2 following this eventual launch. That's odd. Well, that's all the time we have for this week, and next week we'll be looking forward to this new episode on Rainbow Hollywood. Bye.